Okay, so psychic or crazy, or perhaps we could also say intuitive or crazy. And, that's an energy as a psychic or psychics that we can really handle this essentially invalidation that, hey, you must be crazy, if you're, and I'll kind of run through some different scenarios, but we'll start with the second chakra example, and that's one ability that we have. And the issue with the word psychic, it's such a kind of has a negative connotation. There's a charge to it, but it's really just misunderstood because the word psychic is just it's of or pertaining to the soul. So when someone says psychic ability, it just means soul ability. So these are natural abilities that we all have. There's just a lot of misunderstanding around it. So second chakra is the emotional center, sensuality, sexuality, but it's the ability there is clairsentience or clear feeling. And it's the one that I think most people in the world can relate to. They're just not going to call it being psychic. This is that gut feeling, so to speak. And it's where you're out in the world and you're kind of picking up on an energy on this very simple feeling level. And you're noticing what you're feeling. It might be you walk into a room and there's nobody in the room, but whoa, there's something about this room that feels a little wonky, a little off, weird. You kind of have a vibe to it, right? You feel that vibe. You might walk into a room and there's a person in it, and you kind of get a sense of the energy with that person in the room, or that you walk into a room and there's a group of people. And you might just immediately feel the vibe, and sometimes it's like, "Woo, yeah, all right, this is good," or "Whoa, this is heavy," but you can feel it. But so that's very a lot of people can relate to that, especially when you're meeting new people and on vacation, or you're travel to somewhere you've never been before. Doesn't mean you had to go on vacation, but just being somewhere that you've never been, that's kind of a newer experience. And you're just noticing the vibe. For me, grocery stores, it stands out the most for me, just kind of in the simple everyday living type example of, you walk into Walmart and there's for sure is a vibe there. That's an energy. But then you go to like a Sprouts, or you go to a Whole Foods. You go to a store that's more healthier organic options. The energy is very different, and you can feel that. You can notice that. So that's what I'm referring to. And so moving beyond that, then we have the fifth chakra, or clairaudience, clear hearing. And this one will definitely get invalidated. So, because if you're hearing something that is not physically there, then that's alarming to the majority, right? If you're spiritual, you're psychic, this is kind of totally normal to you, but for a lot of people still, that could be perceived crazy. Something's off or wrong, and really the fifth chakra with clairaudience, you can hear well, you can hear energy, just vibrating, right? And there's all different types of energy that we can tune into. But this is also a way where you can communicate with beings that don't have physical bodies, such as like an angel or a spirit guide, a deceased loved one. That's you're speaking to beings that don't currently have physical bodies. And then sometimes even that notion can freak people out. Oh my God, there's these beings out there and they don't have physical bodies, and that's the fun thing when you turn your abilities on, you can start to communicate with them. I mean, if you even go further and turn on your clairvoyance, you can start to see them. And then that kind of, you start to get out of the fear about it, because you can kind of see it and have a better understanding with it. But yeah, this notion that, oh gosh, there's out-of-body beings, there's these beings that don't have physical bodies. And, some people get freaked out about that, but kind of you got to revert back to yourself and go, oh, wait a second, what are you? Your spirit, you're a spiritual being, and you just have a physical body right now. You have a body life. You're in this incarnation, this lifetime. And so actually, I find that the more you turn these abilities on, and develop them, actually there's less fear, because especially we'll start to move towards the sixth chakra, right? So this can be invalidated. This ability, clairvoyance, clear seeing, seeing energy clearly and with neutrality. So no judgment, not good, bad, or right or wrong, just is. And you can see colors and symbols and mental image pictures with your sixth chakra ability, your third eye. And so then, yeah, if you're seeing things that aren't quite physically there, because you're looking at the energy, so that can get invalidated, right? Because again, most people, it's just, whatever is physical, that's what's real. And that's shifting, but there's still quite a lot of people out there that's what they're kind of hanging on to, and that's fine. That's kind of where they're at. But yeah, as this level of being psychic, yeah, that can get invalidated. But what I find is really great about this is when it is on, that I know I was talking in some of the recent videos that take on the other side of fear, right? So you can actually look at this energy of fear. It's an energy, and really when you start to look at it, you can start to see right through it and go, oh, it's an illusion. It's not even real. And man, that's a relief. So just to be aware of that, you really expand your awareness when you kind of develop your abilities, especially your clairvoyance. So with the clairvoyance, you can start to see these entities that don't have physical bodies. And, initially that may seem kind of scary or weird, but again, once you start to see them and see them very clearly, and, you almost start getting used to seeing them. And a lot of the fear drops. And, there's certain beings that are very easy to see as they are, and other ones that kind of have these valences, these pictures of presenting themselves in certain ways. And, you develop your clairvoyance enough, you can kind of even see beyond that. And a lot of the fear drops because, we tend to be afraid of the unknown, right? And this can be kind of an unknown or something you were previously unaware of. And then you start to see it, become more aware of it. And again, just a lot of the fear drops. So I find it quite helpful to actually really have these abilities on and really to develop them. And then kind of going up to the next level, the crown chakra, then this would be your higher intuition. And boy, this one can handle a lot of energy. Even just kind of, your own ego mind, that could be, something to kind of just to manage when you're really following your higher intuition, and then everyone else's energy, because your higher intuition, that's you getting in touch with your higher self. You're getting in touch with your purpose for this lifetime. Kind of what are you here to do? What's your mock-up? What's your mission statement? What's this life all about for you? And you're getting in touch with that via your higher intuition. And so when you start not just listening to it and, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of have an awareness of this, but when you trust it enough to go, oh, well, I'm going to take steps. I'm going to actually follow through with this. I'm going to take action. And that's a whole other thing. And yeah, that can sound the alarm for the ego mind and learning to manage that, and everyone else's energy about you being psychic at this level, about you following your higher intuition. And because a lot of people probably won't understand. And again, you're getting in touch with a part of you. It's not limited to this lifetime. So there is all this energy that could be, well, hey, what are you following? You're following this kind of fluff thing that most people, I can't see that. For a lot of people, then is spirit real, and that can get lit up for them. So people that don't really understand this, that or don't accept it, some invalidation can come your way. And so again, the beauty of, and people do this all the time in life. They just kind of, okay, I'm going to follow this, and they know this is what is best for them, and they just go for it. And they go through their challenges and all that. But the advantage of being psychic, kind of going through this process of following your higher intuition, is that, well, yeah, you can start to, especially with your clairvoyant ability, you can start to see, oh, okay, this energy I'm noticing is coming from my ego mind. Okay, now I can, now that I'm aware of that, really a lot of healing basically comes out primarily of your awareness. If you're unconscious to something, you're not aware of it. You don't know, and there's not much you can really do about it until you kind of shed that unconsciousness and become aware. And that's really a big aspect of healing. And so then you can just, okay, well, I'm handling this doubt energy. Oh, hey, ego mind, interesting. Okay. And then, as you kind of go along this, following your higher intuition, your intuitive knowingness, sometimes, again, the people that are close to you or around you, again, might not, again, accept this or understand it. And really, it's not for them. Me kind of following my truth is different from someone else following their truth. And I might not understand kind of their them following their truth, but I can at least kind of go, oh, hey, I see that you're in alignment to your truth and you're going your route, and awesome. That's amazing. I encourage that. But for some people, when they don't understand this stuff, then you can handle that invalidation, that what you're doing, it doesn't make sense, and because you're following something that isn't physically there, right? You're following spirit, right? To those that are, psychic, they can see that clearly. So that's real to them, as opposed to people that aren't involved in spirituality. They're not going to understand that. They don't see that. They're not aware of that. So it can be kind of invalidating to the psychic following their higher intuition. But again, the advantage of this is that you can start to see this. Especially if you have your clairvoyance turned on, you can go, oh, okay, yeah, here's this energy of invalidation. You can go as far as seeing where it's coming from. Oh, okay, that's interesting. And you don't have to resist it or fight it or go against it. You don't have to solve it or figure it out. That's really, you're just going to be a hamster on the hamster wheel, going and going, kind of like the Energizer Bunny. It's just going and going, and that's not going to do anything. That can just lead to a mental fatigue and sleepless nights sometimes if it gets that far. And so there's nothing to really figure out there. It's just a matter of dropping it. But sometimes you can go into trying to prove this energy wrong. Oh, okay, well, invalidating spirit, so I'm going to prove spirit is real and what I'm doing is right, and you don't even have to go into that. It's just a matter of just saying hello to this, being aware of all this, and just try to find a little neutrality where you're not trying to resist or go against it or anything like that. It's just, oh, I see this energy, maybe see where it's coming from, and just let it be. And that's a weird thing because, yeah, we tend to be used to, I got to go against this. It's either for it or against it, right? And we're against this. And just a matter of stepping back and go, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to go either way. I'm just going to sit right in the middle, and I'm just going to let this energy be as it is. And wow, even just kind of making that decision and kind of stepping back and just seeing it, that could shift the energy. It's almost very peaceful, actually. And so letting it be, and you realize, oh, there's really nothing to do about it. Once you get to that point where you step back and you're not fighting it or trying to figure it out or solve it or prove it wrong and all that, you just, oh, okay, it's just an energy, just came my way. And instead of it kind of being stuck to you, kind of like gum on your shoe, you can just kind of let that gum slide right off, or pass through you, so to speak, energetically. There's energy always flying around us and through us, and most of it is not a problem. It's just once you resist, and then bam, it gets stuck. So again, the beauty of being psychic and having these abilities on, especially your clairvoyance, you can start to see it, become aware, and then that's where the energy shifts, right? That's the healing. Oh, okay, now here, this is what it is, where it came from, and I'm making the choice to just not fight this and just kind of let it be. And that's kind of a relief, actually. So I find that there could be a lot of fear around, psychic abilities, and actually I find that leaning into them And that actually diffuses a lot of the fear, because now you start to, and it's not that you become psychic and then you see and know absolutely everything. You're going to know everything from this point of your life on to the day that you die, and all that. Man, that would be really boring. That leaves not a lot of room for surprise and miracles. And so, yeah, you can definitely look at energy of anything, past, present, future, and you'll see certain things. But especially when you go to follow your higher intuition, it's not that you're going to see every moment to moment of how this thing is going to play out. You might have a, hey, okay, this is kind of the beginning stage of kind of following your higher intuition, or the overall energy of the whole path of following your higher intuition, or kind of where you're headed. But as far as the step-by-step kind of process, you might not know all of that. And it's just a matter of just trusting and taking the steps to kind of move forward, and that each step of the way you might get that breadcrumb from your higher self saying, okay, you made it this far, good job, and keep on going. You'll get the next breadcrumb, and you'll have a sense of what to do next, or whatever it might be. It involves a lot of trust, and again, that could be kind of scary. Okay, then you're really kind of put to the test of. There could be kind of levels of trust, right? There's, oh yeah, I trust spirit. And then when you're really put to the test, how much do you really trust spirit? And just leaning into that. And again, just being psychically in tune. That I always find, the ego mind, it's always there, and you're always going to handle probably some energy from other people about you following your path. And it's just a matter of getting in touch back with yourself, right? You can be aware of the energy you're handling, but always coming right back to yourself. And that's what I love about meditating and getting in touch with that higher part of you. And you'll start to shift how you feel. I'm feeling afraid or doubt or this or whatever. But if you meditate and turn within and come back to your inner source, your own inner source, that's going to shift a lot of things. And you're just going to get back in touch with, okay, now I feel a lot better, or okay, I kind of see what's happening here pretty clearly, and everything's all right. I'm doing just fine as I am. So, psychic or crazy, intuitive or crazy. Being psychic, being intuitive, to me, that is something that we all are, and is totally natural, totally normal to me. And as the consciousness on the planet evolves, more and more people will recognize that, will wake up to that. So, if you're kind of new to the psychic game, spirituality and all that, and you're kind of handling this, what is this invalidation, or people, thinking I'm crazy. And it's, some people might go as far as actually say that to you. Oh, well, you're crazy or nuts or whatever, whether it's online or face to face, or it just might be an energy that you handle. You can sense their thoughts and the energy coming your way. And it just, you don't have to spend too much time with that. It's just, okay, I'm aware of this, I acknowledge it. I'm just going to let it be. I'm not going to fight it. I can just drop it. But so being psychic is totally normal, totally natural. And I love it. I love leaning into it, just in my personal life and teaching it as well.